and always draw what you always draw what you think you see. I was going to say no, opposite. Welcome back to my series of drawing this lady with graphite pencils. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a nose on this lady. If you've missed how I've got to this point, there are links in the description so you can catch up. So far I've sketched out the proportions and drawn her eyes in detail. Same as the last video, I've got 6 pencils that go from 2H as the hardest pencil, the one that goes on the paper the lightest, all the way up to 6B, which is the softest pencil. Let's go! Starting with the 2H pencil, I'm applying light shading initially. To do this, I'm using the side of the pencil rather than the tip, working in tiny circles. This gives smoother shading and avoids the scribbly look. As we're drawing skin here for the nose, we want our shading to be as smooth as possible so it looks realistic and natural. I always start with the hardest pencil and work through to the softest, using a blending stump in between each pencil. This allows you to build up the shading gradually and makes correcting any mistakes easier because they're more visible. Remember to look closely at the reference photo and draw what you actually see and not what you think you see. It's all too easy to start editing the photo in your mind and taking things out that you don't think should be there or adding things in that you think should be. All it will do is subtract from the realism of your drawing. Now I'm happy with the first layer of 2H, I'm going to use the blending stump to smooth out the pencil further. I'm doing this in exactly the same way as the pencil, using circular motions. What you'll find while you're blending is it makes the pencil appear much darker. This is where building up layers slowly helps, otherwise before you know you've got a smooth but over darkened drawing. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker with the HB pencil. I'm working in the same way as the 2H, adding to the darkest bits. I can see a long section of light running down her nose, which I won't be adding to, just smoothing out the edges. If you see an area that's looking too dark, you can just lighten it up with something like an eraser pencil for touch-ups. I like using these for the accuracy they bring, but you could just as easily use a putty eraser. Next up is the B pencil. It's at this point you can start to see some of the definition and detail building up. I'm working in the same way, shading everything that is either mid or dark tones. After blending that out, I'm onto the 2B pencil. It's here some of the darker values start to get added. I'm just looking for much darker areas here, like on the right side of her nose and the shadows around the nostrils. By working the way through the hardest to the softest pencils, it means most of the work is already done by this point. Same again with the 4B pencil, and you can see that the three-dimensional effect from the nose has really come together. Finally, it's time for the 6B pencil. I'm only using this pencil for the absolute darkest areas, like the crease of the nose to the right, and very lightly on this shadow. A final blend out, a couple of final touch-ups, and there we go. So remember, work from the hardest pencil to the softest pencil, blending in between. And always draw what you actually see and not what you think you see. In the next video, we'll be giving this lady a mouth. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. Please hit the subscribe and the notify button for the latest art tips and tutorials. Happy drawing, guys. I'll see you in the next one.